Good morning, everyone. It's Monday, December 17th, 11:30 in the morning, and that means it's time for the weekly impact weather briefing for Central North Carolina. Glad you joined us this morning. This briefing covers today through the 23rd of December, and of course, these Monday morning briefings are meant to give you an idea what to expect weather-wise this week and give you a heads up as to what weather hazards and weather impacts there may be, if any. So thanks again for joining us. This briefing will be pretty quick because there's not a whole lot going on until we get to Thursday. We've got high pressure building in. And just real quickly, you can see here's a visible satellite. And notice how once the sun comes up and illuminates the clouds, you can see a nice clearing across pretty much the entire state of North Carolina, thanks to that drier air mass and high pressure. So back to the slides there. High pressure will stay with us through about midweek. And then by Thursday, we'll see the next storm system move in, and it's going to come up from the south. The storm center will go by to our west, and that means we will be on the warm southerly side of this. So anytime the track of the low goes by to our west, then we're on the warm side of it, and we don't have to worry about precipitation types of that wintry type, that is. So and then once that storm system exits, then we're basically left in a fair weather, drying northwest flow. So dry weather during the middle of this week will give way to a wet storm system Thursday and Friday, and then behind that, fair weather will return for the weekend. All right, so that's pretty much this week's weather. You're probably wondering how much rain are we going to get Thursday and Friday. I'll get to that here in just a minute. No severe thunderstorms, no thunderstorms at all expected. Again, dry weather today, Tuesday, and Wednesday. All right, how much rainfall are we talking? So dry today, dry Tuesday, dry Wednesday, Thursday and Friday. Maybe this map, because of the time frames that it covers, would suggest perhaps the heaviest rain being over the mountains and over the coast, with a little gap over central North Carolina. The 7-day, however, you'll notice suggests about an inch is possible across much of central North Carolina. So, the point is with the weather system this weekend, right now we're looking at, I would say, an inch or less. There is a potential we could see some dry air punching up from the southwest. It would put a kind of a limit on some of the rainfall amounts. So let's just generalize it and say an inch or less. Now, so obviously that's not a whole lot. We should be able to handle it. What about our rivers? What's the state of the rivers? Let me just show you real quick. I think it's worth going back and taking a real quick look at how much rain we got with that last system. You may recall last Monday we were talking about a big wet weather system potentially impacting central and eastern North Carolina later in the week. That would have been later last week. Well, one of the things we highlighted was the rain, how much rain combined with snowpack and snow melt. Well, fortunately, we got lucky, and we only got about an inch and a half of rain, which was a little bit less than what we were predicting. We were predicting around 2 inches, and fortunately, you could see that that we really ended up. This is a 7-day total rainfall for the last 7 days. And really, we're looking at most of central North Carolina got between an inch and a half. The heaviest rain fell over the coastal areas. And in fact, I think Wilmington broke 100 inches for rain this calendar year. So that's obviously quite fascinating. So we got lucky. We dodged a bullet. We didn't get as much rain. So therefore, the rivers did not rise as bad as we thought they could have. Currently, I just did these screen captures just a few moments ago. In the upper left of this image, you can see the current river observations, and you can see across central North Carolina, really no river flooding. Goldsboro is close on the news, close to minor flood, but really no impacts there. All the flooding issues are mainly to our east, where the heavier rain fell. The lower right shows the river forecasts. Okay, the upper left shows what it is right now. The lower right shows what we will be looking at into the future. And you can see, again, same story. The Neuse River will largely stay below flooding across central North Carolina. The only place we're going to maybe see some flooding again is across eastern North Carolina and southeastern portions of the state, where, again, the heaviest rain fell. So, and even there, really minor flooding is expected along the main stem rivers. The only moderate flooding we're seeing is on the in Lumberton. So that's the situation right now with the rivers. All right. So looking ahead to the following week. So this is December 24th through the 30th. And we're in this kind of warm pattern right now. So odds favor above normal temperatures with, close to near normal precipitation odds. Maybe it's a little bit wetter than normal, but this would suggest that, we wouldn't really run the risk of any winter storms or winter precip type storms right through the end of the month. So I think most people are probably appreciative of that, unless you like the winter weather. So wrapping it up for this week, dry weather during the middle of this week will give way to another wet storm system Thursday and Friday. Around an inch of rain is possible with the storm system later this week. And then after that, fair weather will return for the weekend. The Neuse River will be close to minor flood stage, but is expected to stay below. And all the other rivers in central North Carolina are below flood stage and will remain below flood stage. A little bit different across eastern North Carolina, where there is some minor river flooding going on across many of the main stem rivers. Okay, but in central North Carolina, I think river flooding wise, we're going to be in good shape there. You'll also notice on the bottom there's temperatures are at or above normal right through most of the week. So anyway, and looks like wet Thursday and Friday, but maybe an inch of rain, probably at the most. All right, so it shouldn't be too bad. Fair weather for the weekend. All right, that wraps up this week's weekly briefing for Central North Carolina.